Man. JFK, baby, man.
Judges. Mr. Jackson, it's been a while.
Mr. Kennedy, we got to party sometime.
Minaj. It's nice to meet you. Mr. Cal, I'm a great admirer of Winston Churchill, remember that.
Yeah,
I heard you were. Take that to the grave, Mr. Cal.
Of course, great guy.
Yes, sir. Indeed. So how's everyone doing today?
Well, very nice dog. Nice.
Mr. Kennedy, we are all very pleased to have you here. Feel free to call me regardless of what our decision is.
Thank you. I will hold you up on that. Okay?
Enough of this. Enough of this flirting. Can't be here all the
Mr.
time. Why are you here? Why are you really here?
Well, Mr. Cal, it's very simple. Well, as you all know, I come from a well-off family in New England. I'm a true American, hailing from the birthplace of the Revolution and working my way up from naval cadet in World War II to President of the United States of America, all before I turned 44 years old. I saved my fellow shipmates from certain death when our boat was destroyed by a Japanese ship in the Solomon Islands, even though I had a broken back that would haunt me the rest of my days. I went on to a very successful political career as I ended up winning the election of 1960. In office, I saved the Earth from nuclear war by avoiding aggressive actions during the Cuban Missile Crisis, set the stage for President Johnson to pass a civil rights bill after my death, and also curbed the greed of many steel company employees who wouldn't put the good of America over the good of their companies. Vigor was the driving force of my life, and I believe that I am perfect to be the American Idol.
Bravo, Mr. Kennedy. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. You've done so much for this nation, and you should be applauded for it. How did you manage to rise through the political ranks despite your Catholicism, as no Catholic had ever been president before you?
Well, Ms. Minaj, it was quite simple, you see. I made people realize that they should look to a candidate's credentials and viewpoints rather than personal background to decide whether to vote for him or not. It is absolutely ludicrous to judge a man's abilities by anything other than his ability to perform a certain job or task. As evidenced by my continued support of civil rights in office, I believe that the best man deserves the best place in society, regardless of skin color or religion.
So, Mr. Kennedy, what in bloody hell happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis?
After we had received intel of the Soviets putting nuclear missiles into Cuba for possible weaponization, my cabinet convened immediately for an emergency meeting regarding the developments. All of my cabinet members, my closest friends and political advisors, were in favor of sending an immediate attack to Cuba in order to destroy the missiles and their sites. I disagreed because I felt as though it was a bluff and realized the ramifications of a nuclear war and decided not to attack. The crisis was averted and no nuclear weapons were fired.
You will certainly be under consideration for the American Idol, man.
Thank you very much.
Your contributions to this country will never be forgotten. Especially by me.
Thank you.
Especially.
Appreciate all of you. Naj, I'll talk to you later.
Don't leave.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Dog.
He was fantastic.
He really is.
Yeah, no. He's no great guy. Wonderful guy.
Great guy.
Great dog, man. Like, that dog, great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Really love him.
You guys.
Really love him.
Go on in.
Whew. Chill here, isn't it?
Hey.
How's everyone doing? Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
What's up, Franklin? I'm really looking for your performance today. It's going to be real popular.
Of course, yes, sir.
Mr. Roosevelt, you look so fancy today. I love your outfit. I'm really excited
Thank
to
you, Raj. I really appreciate it.
Really nervous?
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, Mr. Minaj. Remember that.
Alright, why don't you tell us what you got?
All right. Here goes nothing. If you do not already know, I inherited the country in a state of complete turmoil. We were in the midst of the Great Depression, and there were millions who had no home and trouble finding food. I implemented the New Deal, which was the name of all the laws I passed in order to ensure America would rise out of the economic crisis. I gave our government much more of a role in the daily affairs of every citizen because laissez-faire had failed to address our country's economic needs. We needed more government intervention. Then there was World War II. I did not want to become involved, mind you. Don't put that on me. But after Pearl Harbor, it became evident that I had to get our country involved. I led our nation through the World War, which was eventually won by our Allied brethren, and also the Great Depression. I believe that my innovative policies to eliminate our economic crisis and my leadership during World War II warrant me receiving the title of American Idol, to be completely honest with you guys. And I would not lie.
Dog, did you crack down on anyone who tried to stray away from your policies?
Well, Mr. Jackson, actually on the contrary, I encouraged experimentation and disagreement throughout my cabinet. You see, I had this brain trust, which was an idea that was brought to me by my friend Samuel Rosenman, and it gave me a group of economic advisors to help me through this delicate matter. If it wasn't for the experimentation and disagreement throughout my group, I don't know if we ever would have come up with the innovative policies that led to the New Deal.
That's crazy, dog. You did it.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Roosevelt, tell me about the Yalta Conference. Did you really think Stalin would truly allow for the free elections in the eastern states that he was occupying?
Well, to be honest with you, Ms. Minaj, I did. Unfortunately, I did. I was in very poor health at the time, and me and Mr. Stalin had been comrades throughout the World War. And when I talked to him about it at Yalta, he gave me his word that he would allow free elections within those states. But obviously, as history has told us, that is not what happened. And I'm very disappointed to say that I did indeed believe Mr. Stalin.
I see, Mr. Roosevelt. That's unfortunate in regard to Stalin's dishonesty.
For myself, as a lover of order and organization, with which the Empire of Great Britain has thrived on for years, I admire the way in which you went about fixing the American economy. You employed new methods, but were very calm and stable in your methods. Your use of the fireside chats to ease the tension in the country was a very impressive innovation that I have often admired because of how simple it was. I can't see why you wouldn't be in contention. Fantastic job today.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roosevelt.
Appreciate you coming out.
Peace.
Years have caught up to me, yeah? Have a great day, my friends.
Great guy.
Solid
Yeah,
guy.
really warm. Welcome. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely awesome contention.
Yes.
All candidates are very good.
Everyone's
Very
good.
great guy. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough choice.
Alright, let's see. Up next we have Mr. Woodrow Wilson. Come on in.
Yo, what's up, dog?
Ooh, Franklin was right.
Get on
It is
in
a
here,
little-
come on.
It is a little cold in here. Franklin was right out there. What are you guys doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Everyone.
How's it going, Mr. Wilson?
No complaints, no complaints.
Where did you try out for American Idol?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Of course.
Why do you believe you are the next American Idol?
Well, for one, I created the Federal Reserve, which is set to control the economy by controlling the money supply. And in addition to that, I created the Federal Trade Commission in order to make business practices fair for all Americans after all the crap we had to go through in the late 19th century with Carnegie, Rockefeller. Anyways, along those same lines, I created the Clayton Antitrust Act, which was in addition to the Sherman Antitrust Act, but gave it teeth to actually go at trusts. And me and my good friend Teddy Roosevelt out there were talking about that earlier. But as I regress, my most important achievement throughout my life was leading our great nation through World War I. Not only did I keep us neutral in the beginning like our founding fathers did, but also when hostilities first surfaced, I ended up kicking the Axis' ass, basically. And our men flowed into the battlefields in great streams, our supplies renewed morale in the fighting men, and we even got to go to the peace talks in Versailles.
Right, I feel, dog.
All right, well, I feel you too, Mr. Jackson. I appreciate that. And also, I was president of Princeton University, if you guys didn't know, and I am the only president to hold a PhD. So, and that's 2 presidencies under my belt. Pretty compelling, if I do say so myself.
I think that's wonderful, Mr. Wilson. Just wonderful.
Thank you, I appreciate it. My 14 points were used as the basis of the Treaty of Versailles, the basis of discussion. And I really tried to implement my League of Nations to protect future peace.
Which failed horribly.
Well, as they say, Mr. Cowler, as I say, actually, if you want enemies, try to change something. I think this applies here because of those bigots in Congress that prevented my legislation.
Look, Mr. President, many of your policies didn't even work. Neutrality was an utter failure. The Espionage and Sedition Acts restricted the rights of many Americans. And your 14 points it didn't work.
Right? I mean, well, you sound like one of the bigots in Congress, Mr. Cowell, so it's been a good day, and I will hopefully never see any of you again.
Wow, that was really abrupt. Yeah, wow.
Out of the money.
Out of the
money.
That was
Yeah,
unacceptable.
Wow.
Not needed here. I'm really feeling Kennedy for this, dog. JFK, let's do that. Crisis, man. Missile crisis. Took on those steel companies, Great guy. All American.
Certainly has the credentials. Yeah. Well, I would have to go with Benjamin Franklin, innovator, statesman, scientist, politician.
I feel you.
Dabbled in all areas.
Definitely feel you.
Helped fund the Revolutionary War and a leader of the 13 colonies.
Slated in
I
France.
think you both made good points, but I have to go with Abraham Lincoln, 16th president, led us through that Civil War, kept the country together, freed the slaves, really kind of embodied the whole freedom idea in America. I think he's the American Idol. But
Yeah, just we'll see.
discussion.
Who knows? It could be anything.
Yeah.
I made a decision.
Yeah.
I concur.
This is it.
And the winner of American Idol, APUSH edition, Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, thank you.
Oh, man. So, inside, I jumped out for shoes.
Thank you, Mr. Lincoln.
Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Mr. Lincoln,
I think you guys made the right choice.
you've won the 2014 American Idol Award.
APUSH.
APUSH edition.
Oh wow.
Trademark.
I don't know what to say. I want to thank my family. I want to thank Jefferson Davis for being inferior to me. I want to thank the South for not being as good as the Union. And wow, I'm just so excited. Thank you guys so much. I don't know what to say. Real respect to all my other people out there. Theodore, Woodrow, all those guys. They deserve just as much as I did, but I'm glad I brought it home. Thank you. American Idol. Yes.